Here we are. Here we are.
So we're here. We're here. So this was, I remember doing a video, I don't know, maybe last year or so.
Okay.
I think it was a little hazy. I think it was snowy. It was late in the year.
Oh, that was me that did the video.
Sure was.
Yeah, Jeremy did the video.
See,
not Jonathan.
See, you're confusing everybody now. I'm Peter. And I think the driveway was in, you know, it was unexcavated, and I just talked a little bit about site development.
Yeah,
and,
right.
You know, I just mentioned, you know, when we come out to a site, a building site, I think this is about 5 acres.
Okay.
And when Jacob connected with us, he already had his driveway in. But when we do a site visit, some of the things that we're looking at are access. Of course, this is completely clear.
Right.
Where the utility lines are and stuff like that. Here we have the electric on this side of the road.
Pole right there.
Yep, you come right off of that pole. But if the electric's on the opposite side of the road, then, you know, you need to get your new electric application in, you know, as soon as you can, because you'll need the grid to set you a pole. And sometimes there's a backlog on that, and so you want to get that going right away.
Sure.
And then, of course, like this site needs a big culvert. And so this one, you know, well, it's a little culvert. The town dictates the size of the culvert. That
huge.
Looks like
that's huge.
It's monstrous. Everything on TV looks bigger. Maybe it's a 12-inch culvert or something. The town dictates it based on water flow, but the width of the apron, he was already at 30 feet, but for bringing in the carriers, we needed him to extend it another 20 feet almost.
Well, partially because it was long too, right? I mean, the house length is pretty long.
Yeah, 68 feet by 15, so you're 31 by 68. You know, it's a big house, and so we came in. Really, this could have been even bigger if it's a tighter site with trees, but because you have all of this, you know, open field, we came in here at an angle, and we just, you know, added basically a load of stone right here, which after the fact, this can get pulled out and used on the driveway. So it's not lost, it's just, you know, you need that for access for that particular day.
So, important note, is this from the owner or is this from us, you know, peeling into the site?
I can't imagine this being from us, but it's over there as well. So this has got to be from, not us. This is years of, you know. Yeah, there's a standing policy. Don't burn out don't do burnouts in front of people's houses. So what else? So you've got then, I'm looking for, is it water on the street? I'm looking for a hydrant. I can't quite remember off the top of my head if it's water on the street or if it's a well. I think it might be a well here. But that would be another thing that you're looking at, you know, with your building lot. Is the water line on your side of the street or is it on the opposite side of the street?
Right.
If it is on the opposite side of the street, how to bring it under the road. That would be a torpedo or a water line push, they call it. Some townships pay for that, and you just, you know, it's part of your application fee.
Is that more suburbs that'll pay for that, or is it kind of hit or miss which towns will?
Well,
like
in cities and towns, it's all on your side of the road. It's usually both sides of the road.
Okay.
But in, you know, rural areas, it's usually one side or the other.
Okay.
And it just depends on the town. You know, the Johnson house, you know, the application fee for new water is the same for everybody. It's like $1,300, and that includes if you need a push.
Right.
If you need to pay for your own push, it could be $4,500, $5,000 for a water line push.
Yeah, so definitely something to know early on for sure.
Yeah, and that's easy to find out. But I think this is a well. I'd have to confirm with the owner. But yeah, so anyways, you know, that was a while ago. We were talking about site development, and here we are, a beautiful sunny day, and
now there's a house.
Boxes. The roof is up. That's a 712 roof. So on a 512, you know, the roof comes all folded up and it unfolds, but on a 712, then they unfold it, flip the eaves down, and then they put the peak in. So you can see what's on top of the roof are the peak panels.
You can see it way down there.
And those will all go in, and then the shingling will, you know, will be finished up here. What else?
It's going to be a great thing. It's a great house.
John?
Yeah.
What else,
well,
Jeremy?
So he moved the house pretty far back on the property as well, right? I think there was concern about the site being pretty wet. And so the decision was to move it back to kind of, because the lot kind of slopes up, right?
Right.
Towards the back. So the idea was to kind of get it, you know, within reason, get it far enough back so it's not going to become an issue for the basement, right?
That's a good point. So, so typically, I don't want to get hit by a car. So typically, the height of your basement wall is usually in reference to the crown of the road, the high point, the middle high point of the road. That's usually, the town will want you to be 16, 18 to 24 inches above the crown of the road. But when you start going in these rural areas where you're fairly far back from the road, he's a couple hundred feet back, there's a lot of latitude with that, you know, based on the natural topography of the ground. Jacob decided to come out of grade sufficient enough to be able to take a drain line out to the gutter, or the, you know, the ditch.
Yeah.
And so you can't really see it from here because the crane's in front of it, but I wonder if we walked over a little bit, you could see that the house is out of grade about 3 feet, I think, right? 3.5 feet, and then he'll bring in some earth and topsoil so that he can crown out and it won't stick out of the grade so much when he's all done. But to start with, it does sometimes seem like, hey, the house is way out of grade, but that's just the construction process, and you just want to be mindful of how high you're bringing it out of grade so that you can deal with whatever, you know, end result is for water management. Right. But you can see that this lot goes from left to right basically, and from, you know, it's high back left, so it sort of goes back to front, left to right. That's the slope.
Okay. I'm walking the same pace as you, but your legs are much longer than mine, so I have to I'm trailing.
Okay, so this is a good one to view here. So if you look at, you can see this is the strip. You know, you strip all the topsoil in and around the house, pull that off, then you excavate all your excavated materials into a different pile, so that you take your excavated materials, backfill with that and regrade, and then put your topsoil on top of that.
Okay.
So you can, easier for grass and everything like that. And different lots have a different amount of topsoil.
Right.
You might have 6 inches, you might have 2 feet of topsoil. And so that just depends on your particular lot. But that's a good visual. You can see how it's sort of scraped out.
Right.
And then you can see, the waterproof wrap on this poured 8-foot wall is, it's about 18 inches below the top of wall. So that would be your natural grade point up to the waterproof wrap. And yeah, that's what I wanted to show you. So awesome. Every site's different, every house is different. He's gonna do a front porch on this one, very similar to the limited renderings that we have on our website.
Yeah.
The limited, is this a limited series?
Yeah, this is the limited 1.3. That's the 2,100 square foot one.
The 1.3. So it'll be very similar to the rendering with the front porch, but without the attached garage.
Yeah,
and I was going to say
garage, right?
He's going to do a detached in the back. Yeah, more of a pole barn kit. And it's just a good point, because a lot of people say, hey, can you give me a price on the Emily or the Maplewood? Yeah. And we go, well, sure, what do you like about it? Well, I like the front porch. And so just as a reminder, that front porch can go on any of the floor plans. And so you want to first sort of figure out, well, how big of a house do I want? And that'll narrow the floor plan search down significantly. Mm-hmm. How many bedrooms do you want? That'll narrow it down a little bit more. And then within that range, then we can start playing around with, well, how do we want it to look from a curb appeal standpoint? Yeah, and we can design first the floor plan, but then also the aesthetic value of the, the outside porch and garage, and the color of the siding, color of the windows, stone skirting, all sorts of, all of these sorts of options. But suffice it to say, you can almost make any ranch look like any of the houses we have on our website. Right. So you don't want to land on one, I like this floor plan because of the front porch, through the conversation that you'll have with, with Jonathan, not me, or me, whoever you connect with. We'll go through the floor plan, see what we like about it, see what we don't like about it. We want to try to find a floor plan that is a good first you know, it meets most of your needs to start with, and then make some modifications from there. It's just always easiest to start with something that, you know, is a good first, you know, mostly meets your needs.
Yeah, and it's already possible too, right?
Yeah, because there's only so many ways to design a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in the end.
Right.
You know, you got to get bigger if you want to add offices, you want to get smaller if you go to a 2-bedroom, you know. So Jonathan is an amazing person all around to help you through that process, as well as however I can help, and even on our team on the design side. And here, the crane's packing up here with their counterweights.
There we go.
And the carriers are already gone back to the factory. We brought them here yesterday. The drivers overnighted, and then they positioned them in front of the crane this morning for the crane to pick them up. The crane stacked the carriers for him to then take them back to the factory, which is great. Sometimes that doesn't work out that way depending on the site access. Sometimes you need a bulldozer to help out with the maneuvering of the modules, but that's site-specific stuff that we're happy to get into with you on your lot. If you have any questions, just reach out, and if we missed anything, let us know.